thank you for allowing me into your homes, phones, or wherever you may be watching this at. This is the Eric Lyons Show. Make sure you follow me on all social media at Eric Lyons TV. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday, but also happy New Year as we have entered 2026. I hope that this year is full of nothing but more life, happiness, blessings for you and your family. Now, let's get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about Eli Manning's Hall of Fame resume and whether I think he's a Hall of Famer or not, the drama that's going on with Stefon Diggs and the Patriots, and we'll wrap up by previewing the Ravens versus Steelers Sunday night battle where everything is on the line as we wrap up another NFL season. The 15 modern era Pro Football Hall of Fame finalists list came out and Eli Manning was on the list. That sparked a lot of conversation, specifically between me and my friends. The group message was on fire because I put in a group message about it and we had a debate whether Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer or not. And everybody had different opinions. Everybody had different, their facts and what they brought in and what they sent in and the stats. And we all talked about it. And it made me wonder, is Eli Manning really a Hall of Famer? Like I had to go dig and figure it out for myself and for my own opinion based on the numbers and based on what Eli Manning's body of work is. So let's take a look at his resume and what he brings to the table. So you look at Eli Manning. You look at what he's done in his career, and you can't take anything away from it. You know, we can't do that at all. You look at Eli Manning, two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time Super Bowl MVP, four-time Pro Bowler. Now let's look at the playoff run specifically. The 2007 playoff run, he had 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 854 passing yards, and a 95.7 QBR. But the Giants defeated the top seed Cowboys in Dallas 21-17. Then they went on in the NFC Championship game and defeated Green Bay in Lambeau 23-20 in overtime. Then we all know what happened in February that year as they defeated the undefeated 18-0 Patriots in the Super Bowl 17-14. Then in 2011, he had a more statistically impactful playoff run. He had 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, 12-19 passing yards, and 103.3 QBR. Now, this time they went to Lambeau again and defeated the defending champions at the time, the 15-1 Green Bay Packers, 37-20, and then went on again to face Tom Brady and the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl 21-17. Again, I can't take anything away from Eli Manning. What he did in those 2 runs was very impressive. But when we talk about Super Bowl wins and we talk about playoff runs, yes, your quarterback has to be great. Yes, your quarterback has to go above and beyond to keep you guys in games, to keep you guys, sometimes they have to win games. But I think about this as a team accomplishment. If we're talking about the Hall of Fame, Super Bowl wins, playoff wins, that's a team thing. And then you go back and you look at let's look at the 2007 run. In the Green Bay game alone, in the NFC Championship game, Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw, they got the ball over 15 carries apiece that game. The running game for the New England Patriots was fire that season. On top of that, their defense was only giving up 16.3 points per game. You couldn't score on this team. Games were ending in interceptions. Brett Favre went to overtime, threw a pick, which led to a game-winning field goal for the Giants. And then you go to the Super Bowl, and I give Eli Manning all the credit in the world for escaping that sack. But David Tyree made probably the most improbable catches in the game's history. So yes, Eli Manning and the New York Giants defeated Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. Nobody can say that. You can't say, I got to the Super Bowl, I beat Brady twice. Eli did it twice, absolutely. But does that make Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? Is that enough to say, oh yeah, put him in the Hall of Fame? Because you think about a playoff run, things have to go correctly. They have to go right for not only for you to have success as a quarterback, for your team to have success. You have to be great in all 3 phases of the game. Even the GOAT will admit there's a little luck involved in it as well. Things have to fall your way to get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl 2 times. Listen, what Eli did in his 2 Super Bowl runs was greatness. It was greatness. But let's not fool ourselves into thinking that's all Eli Manning was, and fool ourselves into thinking that himself was so great. When I think about Hall of Fame resumes and I think about what makes somebody a Hall of Famer, I'm thinking about their individual stats, and accolades. What did you do for me? What did you do by yourself? What did you do on your own? What do your numbers look like? I'm not talking about the team, I'm talking about you. So you look at Eli Manning. As a starter, when playing 10 or more games, he does not have a single interception season. He has 10 plus interceptions every year, including 20, 25, and 27 interception seasons. No 40 touchdown seasons, no MVPs, no Offensive Player of the Years. Does that sound like a Hall of Famer to you? If the name on the back of his jersey was literally anything else, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He would simply be a trivia question. Who beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl 2 times? Eli who? To me, Eli Manning is not a Hall of Fame. He's not. He was an average quarterback who struck gold twice. But what say you? Tell me in the comments. Tell me on Instagram. Tell me on TikTok. Tell me on X. But to me, Eli Manning is not a Hall of Fame. Cardi B's most recent studio album is titled Am I the Drama? Well, yes, you and your baby daddy are the drama. Listen, Stefon Diggs is in trouble once again. This time, it comes at the expense of a chef of his. So Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs is facing a felony charge of strangulation or suffocation and a misdemeanor assault and battery charge. According to police reports and charging documents, the alleged incident happened last month on December 2nd over unpaid wages. According to the police report, the chef claimed that they had been in an ongoing text exchange about pay before the incident. She says Diggs unlocked her bedroom door, became angry, smacked her in the face, and then tried to choke her with his elbow and around her neck. After the alleged physical contact, she claimed she was thrown down onto a bed and that Diggs left the room. On December 2nd, 2025, that's when the alleged incident occurred. On 12/16/25, the police report is filed, and then on December 30th, just the other day, charges became public. And on January 23rd, Stefon Diggs is expected to be arraigned in court on charges. Through his attorneys, Diggs has denied the allegations and described them as unsubstantiated and ties to a financial dispute over payment rather than an assault. The Pats organization said they are aware of the situation and support Diggs while cooperating with authorities. I will say, if you've been following this on social media, which I'm sure you have, the alleged screenshots of the messages between Stefon Diggs and the woman who filed these charges have not been authenticated, they haven't been verified, and they have not been known to be made public by the authorities. So with that being said, I will not discuss the alleged screenshots on this show or show them because we don't know those to be true. This is a problem. This is an issue that many athletes have been dealing with. Not just the domestic violence aspect of this, but just the messy part of it alone. I don't understand how these multi-million dollar athletes continue to find themselves in trouble. Is it really that hard to stay out of trouble? Now, I've never seen that many dollars in my life, but I would love to. But I feel like I genuinely believe I would not lose my goddamn mind. I wouldn't. Guys getting DUIs, going to prison for vehicular manslaughter and stuff like that. Fam, get a driver. Get a driver. Get a driver. I just don't get it. How do you find yourself in this situation where not only are you putting your hands on an employee of yours, but you're putting your hands on a woman? As a man, you shouldn't be putting your hands on a woman at all. I don't care who you are. That's point blank, period. Especially as an overly trained professional athlete, you're stupid strong compared to this woman. Why are you putting your hands on her? Nobody should be doing that. And listen here, Mr. Diggs. Allegedly. You just can't keep your hands to yourself, whether it's a woman or a man. Allegedly. Because this is not the first time we've heard your name in a situation similar to this. Now, that situation was not proven in court, but this one looks to be on track to be. Now, granted, we are a country of innocent until proven guilty. We do not know the ins and outs. But I will say it does not look good for Mr. Diggs. It doesn't. Now, the Patriots are not only dealing with Stefon Diggs' situation, but they're also dealing with the defensive tackle Christian Barmore, who is also facing domestic violence charges stemming from an event in August. Here's what Mike Vrabel had to say about both of the ongoing situations.
These are allegations, like you mentioned in your question. It's things that we have to handle, and every day that there's distractions. Some are smaller than others, and I'm confident that we'll focus on the Dolphins, and those two individuals that you mentioned will be able to handle the ongoing legal process.
Listen, I'm giving it to y'all straight. The New England Patriots are hot. Drake May is believed to be the MVP of the NFL this season. And the New England Patriots could very well be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl next month. Bobby Kraft not going to let this go down the way we think it's going to go down. Somehow, some way, this all is going to get postponed until post-Super Bowl, and they'll work with the NFL, and they'll figure some things out, as they already came out and said they support Diggs and will be cooperating with the NFL. No, they're going to figure it out a way to have him on the field through this playoff run. Because that's just how things work, unfortunately. When you're at that stature, when you're in that level, in that stratosphere, on that team, in this league, money works. Money talks. Things go differently for people. It's not like me, you, and I, regular people. The law is a little different. Understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's how it goes. But I will say this again. Gentlemen, please, just keep your hands to yourself. That's simply what it comes down to. Keep your hands to yourself. Point blank, period. Okay? I'll be keeping an eye on both cases with Mr. Diggs and Mr. Barmore as, more information comes out. Especially, I would love to see how not only this gets handled in the court of law, but I'd love to see how the Patriots and the NFL continue to handle it as well. So we will be watching. Okay, so this weekend, everything will be decided. The playoff table will be set, seeds will be set, and we will know who is going where, who is playing who by the end of this weekend. And it all wraps up with the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football with the AFC crown and a home playoff spot up for grabs. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get any better than this. You can't script it better than this. Everything's on the line. It's all matters. It's going to be a dog fight. This is the second time this team has played. Earlier this year, they played each other here in Baltimore. Of course, I was there at work in that game. And the Steelers won. Now, Aaron Rodgers threw for 284 yards, but 148 of those yards went to DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf will not be on the field on Sunday night because of an incident stemming in Detroit with him and a fan. I'm sure we've all seen the video. We all know what went down. So DK will not be on the field. But also missing will be Steelers tight end Darnell Washington, who had a season-ending injury last week when they played the Browns. Now TJ Watt is still up in the air. We don't know if he's going to be on the field, but that could very well impact the game as well. Now, the last time these two met, Lamar and Aaron both rushed for a touchdown. Zay Flowers had a buck 24 yards. Derrick Henry had 25 carries for 94 yards. And we know the game will be remembered for the controversial reversal of a potential game-winning touchdown caught and then apparently dropped by Isaiah Likely, with the defender being Joey Porter on that play. Now, I've talked to Ravens and Steelers fans who do not want to win this game. Neither of them want to win because both teams feel like it's time for a reset, whether that be with the team itself or the coaching staff. But unfortunately for them, somebody has to win. Somebody has to win this game, win the AFC North, and go to the playoffs. And my pick for the winner of this game, I say unfortunately because I would have to go and work next weekend, but it's the bank, baby. It's playoff time at the bank. I'm cool with that. It is what it is. I'm just feeling a little lazy. I'm tired. Your boy's tired. I've been enjoying my winter break. I want to stay home, but I understand what it's going to have to be. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. I see a lot of people have been saying leading up to this game, oh, should Lamar play? Are they going to be better with Huntley in this game? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? 75% of Lamar Jackson is better than no Lamar Jackson. Of course you want Lamar Jackson on the field on Sunday Night Football with everything on the line. Why wouldn't you want your franchise quarterback, you're a two-time MVP, why wouldn't you want him on the field? Of course you want him on the field. He gives you all the chance in the world to win this football game. And for me, the key to victory for the Baltimore Ravens is simple. Do what you guys did against Green Bay. Run the ball. That's run the ball. Now, I don't think Pittsburgh's front four is as soft and injured as Green Bay's is. I'm not taking away from what the Baltimore Ravens offensive line and Derrick Henry did last Saturday night. It was a hell of a performance. I give it up to you. But this isn't that. They're going to have to come a little harder than that. Okay? They are. And that's all it has to come down to. Give Derrick Henry the ball. He had 94 yards. He had 25 carries in the first matchup. He needs 30 in this one. He needs 30. Take the pressure off of Lamar. Hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. That's the key to victory. Run the ball. And don't run it sporadically. No, run it consistently. If Derrick Henry legitimately needs a break, put Keith Mitchell in the game. Take him to the outside. But you got to run the ball, man. You got to run the ball. I don't think that even if TJ Watt does play, I don't know how effective he will be. And I just think that the Steelers offense looks lost without DK Metcalf out there. You know, they didn't look very good against the Browns last week. And even when the game was on the line, Aaron Rodgers had two great throws to Pat Frymouth. And then they get in the red zone and throw balls to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Multiple. When has MVS ever been a one-on-one? Never mind. I just don't see it happening. He has limited targets, and the Steelers' run game is not great at all. But the Ravens' defense is going to have to come to play. They didn't look great against the Packers, as Malik Willis was running all over them and throwing all over them as well. So they're going to have to tighten up if they want to go to the playoffs. But for me, I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens just because, A, Lamar Jackson, and I believe that if they can run the ball, they should beat the Steelers. I just don't think the Steelers' offense will have enough to go back and forth with the Baltimore Ravens. And this game could get away from them towards, rather quickly. I think for me, if I had to go for a final score, I think it'll still be a low-scoring affair. I think I'll go 21-10, Ravens win the AFC North and a home playoff game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I hope I was able to keep you engaged, entertained, and electrified. I'm Eric Lyons. Be blessed. See you next time.